Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and you're just feeling it? You tell yourself, today is the day. I'm going to get so much done. But then, by the time the day is over, you look back and realize you didn't do anything at all. What happened? Why did you not get anything done, even though you had all that energy at first? Well, let me tell you a little secret. It's because of something most of us forget. Motivation is not enough. Section 1. The morning motivation. So let's imagine this. It's a Monday morning and you're feeling great. You woke up early, had your breakfast, and you're ready to tackle the world. You've got big plans: clean your room, finish that assignment, maybe even start that new hobby you've been thinking about for weeks. Motivation is high and you're ready to crush it. You get into your work with all this energy and then realize that as the day continues, you end up getting tired. The morning becomes tinged with fading excitement. You think, this is not as enjoyable as I thought it would be. The enthusiasm begins to fade, and before you realize it, you discover you're doing something else that is less difficult or more enjoyable. Maybe you find yourself binge watching some Netflix show or scrolling on your phone. Does this sound familiar? You get started fine, but as soon as the novelty wears off, you are like, stuck. Section 2. The truth about motivation. Now, why does this happen? Well, here's the thing. Motivation is like a wave. It comes and goes, and sometimes you just can't predict when it will hit. It's exciting when it's there and it helps you get started. But once it's gone, you're stuck. Think about it like this. Have you ever felt super motivated to clean your room? You start moving things around, but halfway through you just stop. The energy fades away. You leave the room half cleaned and end up doing something else. The problem is, motivation doesn't stick around long enough to help you finish what you started. Motivation is like a spark. It lights up a fire, but if you don't keep feeding that fire, it dies out. Section 3. Enter self-discipline. Now imagine this. You're cleaning your room again. This time, though, you don't feel that rush of motivation. You're tired, but instead of giving up, you tell yourself, I'm going to finish this no matter how I feel. You don't need motivation anymore because you have something much stronger. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is like the glue that keeps everything together. It doesn't have the glitz of motivation, but it's steady. You build a habit that keeps you moving forward despite the fact that you don't feel like it. Let's say you have been wanting to improve at a hobby or complete a project. You may be motivated to begin, but self-discipline is what allows you to complete. It's the slight nudge that moves you to sit down and do the work, a day when you don't feel like doing anyway. Section 4. The power of consistency. Here's a quick story for you. Let's talk about someone who wanted to get in shape. Let's call him Sam. Sam was super excited when he first joined the gym. He was all about motivation. I'm going to get ripped, he said. And for the first few days, it was awesome. He was going to the gym every day, feeling great. But after a week, the excitement started to fade. The workouts became harder. He didn't feel as motivated. Some days, he didn't want to go at all. What did Sam do? He relied on self-discipline. Even on the days he didn't feel like going, he made himself go. He didn't wait for motivation to come back. Instead, he built a routine. He created a habit of going to the gym every day, no matter what. That's the power of self-discipline. It's not about feeling good all the time. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Section 5. Motivation versus self-discipline. Let's compare motivation and self-discipline. Motivation is like the kickoff. It gets you started, but it doesn't keep you going. It's kind of like the beginning of a race. But after a few steps, motivation won't carry you both ways. And that's where self-discipline plays a role. It is the push that helps get you to the finish line, even when your legs feel heavy. Think about school. You know you have to study for a test, right? Some days, motivation is there, and you feel like studying. But other days, not so much. That's when self-discipline steps in. You don't have to wait for motivation to study. You just do it because you know it's the right thing to do. You make it a habit, and soon, it becomes second nature. Section 6. Why self-discipline is your secret weapon. Here's why self-discipline is such a big deal. It allows you to persist, even when you're not having a good time. It keeps you going when the going gets tough. You're not going to feel motivated to do this every day. It's about knowing what you want and working towards it, even when you don't want to. For example, you want to save some money. Perhaps you're not thrilled about setting aside a little something every day, but self-discipline enables you to do so. You set your focus and develop good habits, and little contributions pay off after a while. That's how big things happen. Section 7. How to build self-discipline. So, how do you build self-discipline? Well, it's not something that happens overnight, but here are a few steps that can help. Start small. Don't try to do everything at once. Just take one small step at a time. Create a routine. Make the tasks you need to do a habit. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Be consistent. Even when you don't feel like it, keep showing up. Consistency is key to building self-discipline. Focus on the long-term goal. Remember why you're doing it. This keeps you going when times get hard. Be gentle on yourself. You will have days that are bad, and that is fine. Just continue. You will improve this over time. So to sum it all up, motivation is excellent to start, but self-discipline is what finishes the last task. It's what moves you forward when motivation fades away. It's about setting a promise to yourself and staying with it, even in the hard times. Remember, self-discipline is the one and only secret to success. Therefore, the next time you want to give up, just remember why you initiated and push forward. And soon, you will realize that with self-discipline, nothing is impossible. Thanks for watching, and if you were able to benefit from this content, please remember to like and subscribe. So, keep pushing yourself, and remember, consistency is the key.